Hey, welcome back to Rookie Roost. So do you remember how I said in the last video that this house could be done by July? That didn't happen, but a lot did get done, and for the most part, there's only cosmetic things left to do. So stick around, and I'll catch you up on what was accomplished this past month. So if you're new here, my name is Sean, and this channel follows the building of a tiny house. And where we left off in the last video, we were working on flooring. Now, all the flooring in the house is done. It's all at least cut to size and secured down. One little flap right here I still need to do, but that's not that important. The bathroom's even done, which I actually did film. There wasn't a lot of filming going on in the past month, just because I'm trying to do a lot of really random things and working at kind of weird small intervals, but that was a big job, and getting that done was nice. It meant I was able to unpack the toilet and put that in place and start to think about how that's all going to fit together. The only kind of flooring thing left to do is to figure out what's going to go in the storage areas, both what we're calling the attic and what we're calling the closet. Probably just go with some kind of thin carpet so it's easy to kind of move things around up there. I also finally got around to cutting and fitting in all of these tiles that go underneath the kitchen in the storage area here. These are rugged garage type tiles, and they're going to work really well for this area, keeping things, there's enough of a texture to them so that things will keep put if they're stored in there while moving the house, but they're smooth enough so that you can easily pull things back and forth as you need to get stuff out. The countertops are now fully cut and in place, and as you can see, the sink is also been cut and installed. So we finally reached sink day. So we've got it all measured on here. It's nice and square. And then I went in a car, interrupted everything. And then I went and traced around the whole thing. Now we have to measure in a 1/4 inch to where these things are and do another line on the inside.
Wow, look at that little trace.
So I'll be tracing around 1/4 inch the whole way in there, which is probably going to be pretty annoying. But it's what you gotta do. 6 millimeters actually, which is about a 1/4 inch. Alright, so I'm gonna do that now. You can stop recording now.
Beautiful.
All of that is hooked up now. All the drainage is good to go. It goes through the little storage area in the front of the house. Kind of a weird setup. It was really annoying getting the plumbing to work in there with all the angles and all the different glue, and I basically had to crawl in there to do the final gluing, and that was quite smelly, basically. So the countertops are just silicone together right here so nothing can get down the crack, and all we've done in this area is add a bit of a backsplash, which is just this sort of big baseboard. We still have to put this backsplash stuff around just to kind of make it look finished. And we've got some shelf liners in here now. Incomplete, but on its way. And under here is a new addition. This is the electric hot water tank that I've just picked up, basically so that this house can be run completely without propane. I'm going to do a little bit of plumbing trickery to get it so that both water heaters, the propane one and this new electric one, can be used independently of each other. So with a turning of a few valves, you can basically go all propane or you can go all electric. I just figure if the house is going to be actually plugged in somewhere to power, why bother with propane? And as you can see, the fridge has returned to the tiny house. That's been at my job basically for the past year, just kind of waiting for its return. We bought this way too early. I have the ladder back secured into place. I'm going to take it off again though and sand it and maybe smooth out the rungs a little bit so they're not so sharp on bare feet, and then stain it the same color as the joists. So it's not the nicest ladder, but it works really well. It's super solid, it's a good size, and I'm gonna keep it. And up here is basically the only spot where I still have some electrical to do. These were gonna be lights, and I was going to do some weird stuff to make them work. Instead, I've decided to get these little picture shelves, and the outlets are just going to be on here instead of lights, and they're going to be connected to some strip lighting that will sort of just illuminate the ceiling and cast a bit of a glow. Kind of hard to describe, but you'll see it in the next video probably. The other thing still left to do with electrical is the range hood, which is a big project and I'm in no rush to do it. I know I'm jumping around a lot in this video, but that's basically how the past month has been. I've just kind of arrived here after work, worked for an hour or two, done some little task, and then gone home. And it's just been kind of just showing up and judging, okay, what can I get done in an hour? So things like this got done, where we've got a simple bathroom door now, a little bit of privacy in there. And another thing in this room that's been done are these shelves. They're just right below the loft joist here above the window, which is why we've got outlets here so that things can be like, I don't know, plugged in for charging or something. Honestly, the outlets were a dumb idea. Kind of regret doing that. But yeah, we've got the shelf here. We've got one on the other end. Those are just 1x6s, and they're gonna work pretty well. They're just secured right into the joists. Oh, there was one other thing I did over here in the kitchen. The furnace just has some casing to it now. Not very exciting. And the last things that happened on the inside of the house, put a bit of trim around the door. This trim I am not crazy about. I don't like the top piece. I think I'm going to end up removing it. But it was pretty easy to get on there. Just a bunch of glue and some nails. And then those nails will be filled in and painted again. Other than that, for interior trim, we just did the trim around this bathroom door here because it had to be on before the door could be on. Can't wait to get trim around everything. It's going to really transform the way it looks in here. So outside the house, all that's been done is touching up the caulk and the paint on some of the trim.
Oh god, so rewarding covering those ugly, ugly things up. God, they were ugly. I was actually ashamed.
And built this little awning for the propane stuff. And that's the drain for the sink coming out the front there. Still gotta wrap these propane pipes so that they're not exposed at all. But it's definitely nice having this on here instead of a garbage bag covering all that stuff. And over here, one of the bigger accomplishments is finally the main electrical in is installed. So that's a 50 amp plug over there. Typical kind of RV thing, which can be converted down into 30 amps or 15 if you just want to run it off a single extension cord. And here is a very terribly fitting outlet, just a 20 amp outlet, and doesn't really close properly, so I need to work on that a little bit. I still need to get the main water hookup done. That's probably like a 5-minute job. And this line is to ground or bond the house to the trailer, whatever the terminology is. Just waiting on a few pieces to come in the mail for that. And that's it. I know it was kind of another lame little update video, but the nature of the work right now is really sporadic. It's very random, just kind of showing up, doing little bits at a time, sort of looking at an area going, okay, let's focus on that, and there's no real continuous narrative as far as the construction right now. But the next video should be pretty exciting. We've got a spot to put the house. It's going to take a little bit of time to prepare that area, but we'll be doing that hopefully within the next month, and so the next video most certainly will feature that. So to make sure you don't miss that very exciting video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave a like or a comment or both, and hit that little bell so that you're actually notified when the video goes live, and we will see you next time at the Roost.